everybody. My name is Christopher David Gray with Confessions of a Christian Kid. I'm a singer-songwriter and influencer. You know, a lot of popular songs we remember from our past because of maybe a catchy tune. But sometimes these songs really ignite our spirit. This is my rendition of Bob Dylan's Knockin' on Heaven's Door. And stay tuned after the song for an explanation of what I believe to be a deeper spiritual meaning hidden in the words of this song.
Mama, take this badge off of me. I can't use it anymore. Getting dark, too dark to see. I feel I'm knocking on heaven's door. Oh, 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 oh. Knock, knock, knocking on heaven's door. Knock, knock, knocking on heaven's door. Oh, 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 oh. Mama, put my guns in the ground, 'cause I don't need them anymore. That long black cloud is coming down. I feel I'm knocking on heaven's door. Oh, 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 oh. Knock, knock, knocking on heaven's door. Knock, knock, knocking on heaven's door. Oh, 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 oh. Knock, knock, knocking on heaven's door. Knock, knock, knocking on heaven's door. There's one thing that I could be, the one to show you heaven's door. Imagine how beautiful this life could be. We all started knocking on heaven's door. Oh, 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 oh. Knock, knock, knocking on heaven's door. Knock, knock, knocking on heaven's door. Oh, 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 oh. Knock, knock, knocking on heaven's door. Knock, knock, knocking on heaven's door. Mama, take this badge off of me. I can't use it anymore.
So what I love about this song is that it's such a brilliant spiritual metaphor. And what I mean by that is, okay, so first of all, the song was recorded or written and recorded for a movie. I have to confess, I haven't actually seen the movie, but I believe this song is very literal. It's about like a cowboy sheriff who's actually dying. And so it's really simple to understand. Take this badge off of me. Take my guns. I can't use it anymore. It's getting dark. I'm knocking on heaven's door. It's about this guy who's dying. But the way I read it is a little bit deeper than that. Recently I watched a special on YouTube by the magician David Blaine. And in this special called Ascension, he literally grabs a big bundle of balloons and floats into the sky. Of course, it's a lot more complicated than that. It's like a 2.5 hour special. But what's really fascinating about this metaphor with David Blaine and how it relates to Bob Dylan's song is that what I've discovered in my spiritual journey is that spirituality is more about letting go of the things that are holding us down. And in this ascension that David Blaine did, so he's floating up in the sky and he's got some weights attached to his belt, and every 500 feet or so he's talking to the people on the ground and he's letting the weight go. And of course, as you drop the weight, he's ascending. And what I see in this song with Bob Dylan is, I love how his mama, take this badge off of me. I can't use it anymore. And, you know, in our lives, when we start becoming spiritually awake, when we start becoming aware that every single day, our spirit is trying to navigate us higher and higher towards our true self, towards God, towards oneness with the universe, towards what I believe Christ was teaching us as oneness with God, Christ consciousness. This is happening whether we're aware of it or not. And the beautiful thing is, contrary to what we've been taught a lot in religion, is it really has more to do with letting go of the things that are holding us down. And as we let go, the natural process, natural progression is for us actually to elevate towards our true selves. And so I like to think that in this song with Bob Dylan, the badge, take this badge off of me, it represents, you know, my identity, maybe like authority. I like to think that, you know, when he's calling out mama, it's almost like a cry out to God. I think the mama character in this song represents a higher power that he's calling on for help as he's letting go of these things. And then this idea of take my guns, put them in the ground. And I kind of, you notice I kind of changed the lyric a little bit. In the original song, he says, I can't shoot them anymore. But I like to say, I don't need them anymore, because I believe very soon, sooner than you may realize, there's going to be a time when we don't need guns anymore. Fighting fire with fire doesn't work. We know that. And as we are all ascending, again, whether we realize it or not, whether we're aware of it or not, as we collectively, individually are all ascending and becoming more and more Christ-like, we are realizing that we don't need this. We're realizing that violence doesn't solve violence. And so this song is just it's a beautiful call. You know, when I was a kid, I just loved the simplicity of it. I loved how it's so easy to play and it's so easy to sing. Of course, I grew up in church, so I love the spiritual reference of heaven. But it's so beautiful to me that, as you know, recently it's taken on an even deeper, awesome meaning to me, and I just love it. And again, just to emphasize this, what I've discovered personally is that it's not simple, or it's not easy, but it's very simple. This idea that we are actually already spiritually perfect, and that we are in the process of letting go of the things that are preventing us from fully stepping into that awareness. And I think that's what this song means to me, and I hope it means a lot to you as well. And you might have also noticed that I added my own verse in there, because this is truly what I have come to. You know, I'm 40 plus years old now, and I've finally come to this fully realized place in my life where I understand what I want to accomplish personally, but also I want to be someone who is responsible for helping collective consciousness rise higher and higher, as we are all becoming aware that this spiritual reality exists, and as we let go of the things that are holding us back, that we can actually find heaven on earth. Like the song, of course, is talking about death, but I believe that it really references, you know, in the scripture, Christ talks about dying to yourself. It talks about dying to the self. And as we become aware of the difference, this was a huge revelation for me, was becoming aware of the difference between my ego self, the self that needed to die, and my spirit. Because we're not always aware of it's. I became aware that I was sort of floating in and out of ego and spirit and not even knowing the difference. And once you start discerning the difference between the ego self that's keeping you tied down to worldly thinking and the things like in the song, the badge, the gun, the things that are holding us back from heaven, understanding that heaven is something, it's a state of consciousness that we are all trying to achieve. that as we let go of this idea that we cannot be perfect until we die and go to this place we called heaven, but what I've become to understand in the teachings of Christ is he's talking about the kingdom of heaven is within me, is within us. So I'm not waiting to die to accomplish this. And it's really fascinating when you look at the teachings of Christ that he said, these things I do, ye shall do, and greater. Recently I was talking to my dad and telling him one of the things that I appreciated the most that he did for me, because he was a spiritual seeker as well, and we spent a lot of time at church, and I was homeschooled, and a lot of the emphasis of my education, my childhood, had everything to do with spirituality. And one of the things I thanked my dad for is that he communicated to me in numerous times that he wanted me to be more spiritual than him. He wanted to help move me down the road, so to speak, and set me free to find my path. And it's really fascinating when you look at the words of Christ where he says that these things I do, ye shall do in greater. It's the same thing he's trying to do for us that my dad did for me. Hey, listen, so essentially what my dad is telling me is, I am not the ceiling for you.
Mama, take this badge off of me. I can't use it anymore.